Okay, Seaport family, it's just been a lot of weird, crazy shit that's been going on in the city of Savannah. Plus, I gotta give an update for the latest homicide suspect that they just caught not too long ago. But let's get with the news. On Saturday, November the 4th, a woman was charged with running over and dragging a Savannah Chatham police officer. Now, this was during the Rock and Roll Marathon on Saturday. If you know anything about the Rock and Roll Marathon, that marathon usually lasts the whole weekend, and at the end, I believe they do the 5K run. But anyways, a barricade was set up at 48th and Cedar Streets. Officials say 25-year-old Donna Luton was charged with failing to obey a police officer directing traffic, driving on a closed road, and hitting run on a police officer. Police say Luton was attempting to navigate through a road closed to travel to a fast food restaurant on B Road around 8:30 a.m. So that's off the east side. She turned on to a portion of Washington Street that was closed to traffic due to the marathon. Luton ignored commands from the officer Corey Stevens when he asked her to turn around and instead turned south onto Cedar Street into another closed off area. As another officer attempted to flag her down, Luton returned to the area where Officer Stevens was. When her car slowed down, Stevens reached into her car. Luton then fled, dragging Stevens in the process. Now, she actually got away, but not for long. They actually found her car at Abercorn and Duran Streets and took her into custody. Officer Stevens has been treated with non-life-threatening injuries. He's been released, of course. And Miss Luton, she pulled her inner Kodak Black. She pulled the skirt on the police. I mean, she renamed Rock and Roll Marathon the Rock and Get Rolled Over. I mean, she really pulled a Fast and Furious. She pulled the Vin Diesel. So, I mean, luckily, it could have been worse. I mean, when you run over a police officer, you're lucky the police officer didn't pull out their gun or whatever they have to put you down. So, hey, for you to walk away with your life injuring the police officer, I mean, you're really blessed, believe it or not. Unfortunately, you're going to have to sit in Chatham County Jail for quite some time. And also in some other news, a Chatham County inmate who walked off his work release assignment last week, or actually a few weeks ago, has been captured in Pensacola, Florida. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office says Daryl Brown was captured Wednesday by the U.S. Marshals Task Force. Wednesday, November the 8th, he was captured. He was extradited back to Chatham County. Now, in some other news, the homicide that I talked about not too long ago on November the 2nd that happened on Thursday on Largo Drive on the south side, they actually got the face of the killer. Well, actually, they've been caught the guy, but I didn't have a face of the killer of the 70-year-old Samuel Hutchinson. If you want to check out the video that I've done about the homicide that happened, I'll put that link in the description. I don't want to talk about it again. But yeah, they actually got the guy, and he's been on charges of murder and aggravated assault. So we'll see where this case leads. And also that same week, or actually it might have been that same day, where Savannah Chatham Metro Police arrested the suspect for the fatal shooting of October the 8th of Sean Brooks, aka Rico. Now, they actually arrested Eric Adero Williams, who aged 28, has been charged with the murder, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime and aggravated assault. Police say the shooting happened around 2:50 a.m. on October 8th near the intersection of East 33rd Street and Waters Avenue. Sean Brooks, who aged 27, was killed, and another 32-year-old man was also shot. So they actually caught the guy not too long ago, not even a week ago. They actually caught Mr. Williams. And my last piece of news, this was actually headline news all across the whole city on different local media website pages and other news stations and everything else. Now, last week, Tuesday, a 12-year-old boy was shot at Church and Delon Streets after being caught in the crossfire of a man and an unidentified suspect in a vehicle. According to the police, a black man fired shots at a vehicle that pulled up next to him near Church and Delon Streets. Someone in the vehicle returned fire. The boy, who was in the nearby area, ran away holding a 3-year-old child. He was struck by gunfire while running. So the kid was holding a 3-year-old child while running, and in the process of running, he was struck. The child he was carrying was not injured. The boy was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, so that's good. And I know this was pretty much headline news everywhere. I just want to close it out by just saying, death has no age limit. You know, you can die when you're 8 years old. You can catch a bullet when you're 16. You can catch a bullet when you're 66. I mean, a lot of the violence and murders out here are pretty much senseless. Luckily for this kid, he didn't get killed or nothing like that. But just to show you how reckless people are with guns, you know, they're openly shooting at anybody that walks in the area. And pretty much this 12-year-old boy, he was just caught in the crossfire. Luckily, like I said again, he didn't get killed. But just to show you how reckless people who are in the inner cities with these guns are, you know, a lot of them are reckless. And I said in other videos back, a lot of them just can't fight it out. And a lot of comments online that I've been reading about the situation, they've been calling the 12-year-old boy a hero. And he is a hero, because if he would have left that 3-year-old child behind, who knows where his life would have been at. You know, maybe that 3-year-old boy or 3-year-old child would have got hit. It doesn't say the gender of the 3-year-old child that the boy was carrying, but I'm just glad that the situation turned out for the better and not for the worse. But any of the updates for this or any other news that I talked about for this week, I'll let y'all know as well. But that's all for right now. Stay blessed, Seaport.